Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have one of my favorite pitchers in the system. Third time I've had a chance to talk to him. It's always an honor. It's an honor, definitely, to talk to Payton Martin here, seeing same sweet crib in the background there, brother. That is an awesome place right there. Cooker to your right, 30 feet, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, to your right. It's the third time I brought in Payton Martin, so it's always an honor. It's even way more fun because you have such a cool personality. Thanks for coming in again, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, man, let's dive into your season. Really cool season for you because, to be honest with you, you're a very confident young man, but professional baseball has ups and downs. You had to deal with some, and it's really cool that you finished the year so strong. You made so many great adjustments. Super excited. Talk about your year.
Well, yeah, as you said, the ending was a lot better than the start. I mean, I had a little tough offseason, the offseason before the year started. It didn't go as planned, some things went sideways, ran into a couple things. Came back, I wasn't mechanically the same. So we had to go through a bunch of stuff. I mean, I lost a lot of stuff that I had before, and it took a while. It took like 3-4 months just to get it back. Velo wasn't the same, moving, athleticism really wasn't the same either. And I just talked to DA, Coyne, and all those guys, Minto, Walsh, and we got it together and kind of figured it out.
You mentioned, all the trying to get your athletic ability type stuff back. One of the really creative things that you did was they started hitting you ground balls at shortstop. Of course, you grew up as shortstop. You were probably going to be the starting shortstop as a freshman at East Carolina, and so that's a position you love doing. So talk about that, how fun that was and how that helped you.
Oh yeah, especially when I joined the shortstops over there with the Loons and the Quakes, especially Sean McClain. Oh yeah. Man, that's a good one.
Yeah. Did you guys do a little smack talking? I know you have in the past, right?
Yeah, we had a little competition going on in Michigan last year, I guess. They put a little dummy at first base and see who could hit it after the throw. And I did a Jeter, that's my man. That's my guy. Yeah. I did a Jeter, hit it right in the chest, and I quit there. I used all my luck in that one throw.
Yeah, that's awesome. So kind of take us through, what about that process of going back to shortstop got you back into the type of athletic ability and then also the type of throw that you needed to get back on top of your game? Well,
I think that's sort of what makes me special was nothing looks forced. I mean,
yeah, right.
I've always been explosive in the legs, and then my throw was just natural. It was all free. And I was almost like guiding everything I was throwing at the beginning of the season, and the arm action just wasn't the same. So when they throw me at short, allow me to throw sidearm, jump throws, run around a little bit, move, it brought everything back. Okay, so talk about the pitch mix. You came in, you talked about the beginning of last year. Talk about the mix that you started last year with, and as you made the adjustments throughout the year, the pitch mix that you ended the year with on such a high note. At the beginning of last year, I'd say I was heavy slider because I didn't have as much faith in the fastball because, the velo wasn't there just because of the throw. And throughout the year, kind of gained it back a little bit. Not back to normal yet, but I'd say halfway through the year with all that, the ups and downs I had, all the downs I had made me learn how to pitch, I'd say. It taught me everything I need to know about pitching alone. And so we stuck with, fastball, top of the zone. I kind of maneuvered my fastball inside and outside a lot more than I usually do. And then we took the lines with the slider, and then we added the curveball. Curveball's not there yet, but we're getting there. And then the changeup. The changeup's a big pitch for me this season. I never really knew how to throw a changeup. I mean, I'd say this year DA kind of taught me how to do it from scratch because I was choking it, grabbing it hard, throwing as hard as I could. And then after that, I was like, oh, it's not looking too good. So then I'd slow my arm action down, try to go from the side a little bit. And then once he actually got eyes on me and was able to see my grips and everything I was working with, he changed it. Now we're letting it go deep in the hand, but we're not holding it as tight and then throwing it just like I throw my fastball.
All right. So you're 20 years old, and you have all these adjustments you make and obviously you've always been very good at this game. You've had a ton of success. So do you ever find yourself kind of wanting to fast forward things and getting impatient, like I can't wait and I want to be in the major leagues now? Then you have to stop yourself and go, yeah, but I'm still only 20 years old, right? Do you ever have that kind of fight with yourself?
Yeah, I think everybody kind of has that every once in a while. That's the hard part about the minor leagues is staying patient, staying settled, and just keeping it consistent.
July 4th, man. Let's fast forward to July 4th. 6-inning game, or at least you went 6 innings. And just looking at it, I don't remember actually watching the game as far as just my recollection of it. But I can just guarantee you, just knowing you, July 4th, packed crowd, brought out the best in Payton Martin, and I'll bet you remember all of it.
Oh, yeah. I think that was my turning point of the season, too.
Yeah.
I kind of felt back to my normal self. I think it was the adrenaline got to me. And I remember that first inning was brutal. The leadoff hitter took it off the scoreboard. I do remember that. But and then after that, I kind of got in a groove. But I'd say that was like the first time that whole season where I was able to actually get into a groove, I would throw a fastball outside and I was able to go off that line and throw a slider and get a chase on it and get a strike 3 call. And then everything was going my way. Any hard hit balls were going right to people. And, that gave me big boost of confidence, which worked out through the rest of the season.
You kind of got ramped up a little bit more as you went. So starting with that game on the 4th of July, you really started going deeper into games. So take us through that part of your season.
Yeah. That's when it started getting fun. I mean, I've always watched MLB pitchers, and, they go deep in games, and that's where it gets interesting is how far a guy can go throughout a game. But, it comes with flaws, too, because I think a couple games after that, I started tipping a little bit, and I gave up like a crazy game. It was very bad, and it ruined every stat I had. But and then we worked on that, and I got better, and 6 innings is all I'm rooting for now. 7, then 8, then 9. It just gets better as it goes on.
Hey, Clemens is like 10 hours from middle of Michigan, which is a long ways, no doubt, but it's certainly a heck of a lot shorter distance from there to Midland than it is from there to Southern California. So I'm assuming mom and girlfriend got to see you pitch at Midland?
Yeah, my girlfriend came out to that 4th of July game, so that was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she got to see that performance.
So now, hey, yeah, big crowds. Yeah, that's great. Girlfriend was there. That was it, right?
Yeah, and I always work on my, before that first inning, when I walk out there, I always pimp walk out there and make sure I'm looking good, too. So.
That's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, hey, have you gotten into any professional game day rituals like, hey, I have to do this, hey, I have to do that, I got to do this or that? Have you gotten any of the Payton Martinisms yet?
Not yet. I don't believe too much of that stuff. I listen to music every once in a while, and then sometimes I bring sweet tarts to the field and eat some sweet tarts for the game, and then I get going. But usually now, I just chill.
Did you say sweet tarts?
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. My best friend in the world, Terry Bennett, he was a all-state lefty. He went to Connor State JUCO here in Oklahoma. He always eats sweet tarts before the game. It's like his ritual, and he eats the big ones.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, I don't. Is that you?
Just whatever, get my hands on it, the BP before the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you took ground balls at short. Did you get to take any BP too?
No, they won't let me do that yet, but sooner or later. Once they see that first swing, they'll be like, okay, let's put them in there. Let's get it going.
Yeah. So you're very studious. You like to study what makes Payton Martin good. Of course, you like to be an athlete too, but you also like to know just kind of the science between what's going on with you. And so Dave Anderson, you mentioned DA earlier, and De Los Santos, the other pitching coach there, they are some of the best in terms of being able to explain analytics and all that. So can you take us through some of the most important conversations? Obviously not the nitty-gritty details, but the gist of some of the most important conversations you guys had this year?
Well, one of the big things we worked on, and we're working on now too, is that front leg lock. That kind of like disappeared out of my mechanics. And we got that back, though, finally. And I was like, everything wasn't moving at the time it was supposed to. Like, I wasn't rotating as much. I wasn't getting down as much. No force was coming on. My force plates weren't as good. And it was just like, it was weird. Like, things were changing a little bit. And then like, let's say 30 minutes before every workout, he would have me out there doing drills, and it all just slowly came back and slowly came back. So, yeah, thank him a lot for that.
Yeah. So is that the hardest process in baseball you ever had to go? I mean, I can't imagine you had a whole lot of any kind of anything other than total success growing up there in Clemens, North Carolina, and whatever you did in the game. So was this really the first time where you had to go, damn, man, I got to get to a plan here and get something figured out? Is this the first time you ever had to do that?
Well, I think it's easier because I was a hitter, and I know how hard hitting is. And, I went through slumps, and I had my good days, my bad days, and the big slumps, the hot streaks and stuff. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad to go through. But yeah, I mean, I think next season's going to be insane. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. Super proud of you, Payton, because, like I said, you finished the year just absolutely on fire. 5-inning performances back to back. And here's the deal, 6 strikeouts in each one of those games and no walks whatsoever. So can you kind of take us through how your fastball was playing in those games? And as you left last season, how all of your mix, take us through your mix and how it all was working for you.
I think the biggest thing is just the mental state. If I'm not going to say the right song before a game, but if I'm thinking about something before the game, I can go and do it, if that makes sense. Like, I've always had a go do it mentality. And if before the game I'm thinking I'm going to go out there and throw 5 shutty, and I go out there and actually like put my mind to it and go 100%, then I believe I could do it every time. But so we've sat down with all the pitching coaches at points throughout the season, even earlier before this year or last year. And it was DA again, taught me how to pitch sequence. And, we do game reviews after every game, and they help me out and walk me through everything. And, so I'd say another turning point was a Cedar Rapids game. I got to face Walker Jenkins, and that was like a click. I was like, oh, this is another big prospect. We got to get going. And we went over the game review, went over everything. I started being more professional in the locker room a little bit. Yes. If that makes any sense.
Understood.
And it kind of translates onto the field too. And everything just started working out from then.
This is a process that, when you draft a guy out of high school, this is the process that they're going to go through in the lower half of the minor leagues. And a lot of times that's the process. You don't know exactly how they're going to handle it. And to be honest with you, I'm as convinced as I've ever been that you're going to be a rock star major league pitcher in this game. I'm more convinced by 1,000 times now just because I've seen that process in you. Do you feel the same way?
Absolutely. I don't really think my mentality changes at all. I mean, I've always wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. I always wanted to be a shortstop. And then just throughout the pitching aspect, I mean, it's something new I'm learning. So every day I go out there, it's always fun. I mean, it's never going to be a job to me. Obviously, it should be a job, but to me, it's always going to be just that game I played when I was 5, 10, 12 years old. And it makes everything easier.
Any changes to make in the off season? Tell us about where you're at. I know you're in Clemens, North Carolina, right next to your smoker, which is to your right? You're about 30 feet.
Yeah.
About what? About a mile away from your facility that you're starting your teams up from. You got it good. So tell us where you're at and what you're doing, some of the adjustments you're making, and some of the goals of your off season.
Right now, I've been just doing drills and working on my weight. That's been a big thing. Yeah. Like I said, that off season wasn't too good for me last year, and some bad things happened in the off season, and it turned out in a couple injuries and stuff. And I got back, and I was very underweight and wasn't ready. I wasn't throwing, and this season kind of is like a revenge year. Like it's a revenge tour, and I put on. So I was 184, 185, and now I'm 194.
Payton, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. When I got to spring training last year, I was like 170 because I wasn't able to eat. Yeah, it was bad. It was pretty tough.
Were you sick?
Yeah, it was just a little accident that happened in the off season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But big turnaround. The coaches are always there for me and they help me out. So got me through it all.
Yeah. Anything as far as maybe adding a new pitch or refining of this or anything just you're specifically working on with your pitch mix in the offseason?
Just working on that curveball, getting a little bit better, getting it in zone and changing the speed from the slider. I mean,
Yeah.
And then everything else should be okay. And if they want to add another pitch, I'm here to learn. So it's okay with me.
Sure. So the slider pitch is that kind of your bridge between the fastball and the big curveball that you need to land for strikes? Is that how you use that pitch?
Yeah. So that slider is probably my favorite pitch because I started to throw it. Well, don't tell anybody, but I throw it first pitch of the game sometimes to get the hitters off balance. And it's kind of fun because I can throw it for a strike too whenever I want. But yeah, that just makes it easier to throw the fastball up in the zone, bring it inside, and then work it out. But yeah, I mean, I've been a big curveball guy my whole life. I used to have a good curveball in high school, and then it just
big old roundhouse.
Yeah, and then it disappeared. It didn't work in pro ball. So but yeah, we got to bring that back and change the speeds a little bit. And then the changeup, I think the changeup's going to be good. It's just that's my fourth pitch, I'd say. So if I need it, I'll throw it.
Yeah. So slider, fastball, your 2 strike pitches. So are you going to use your curveball more of a get me over to steal some strikes, maybe to pitch backwards, like you mentioned, first pitch of the game or something like that, or maybe first pitch of an at-bat, or is it a strikeout pitch for you?
Well, it's always been just a get me over pitch, but I kind of want it to be a little bit more. I don't want just like 3 pitches in my arsenal to be powerful and then have that one as just like a get me over. I'd rather have all 4 of them be elite pitches. So I'd like to keep working on that one to get it going.
So is the key to your changeup that you can throw your other 3 pitches enough for strikes to where you don't have to rely on your changeup to be in the zone, or is it not that simple?
I honestly don't know. It just depends on the counts and who I'm facing. Like if I'm facing somebody that like rails changeups, I'm not gonna throw them a changeup, And it's usually the lefties, to be honest. We're trying to work on the righty changeup. I think we'll get it going, but usually lefties. We're not so much. It doesn't even move that much. We're just trying to make it move this much. Nice. That's all we need. And as long as it follows that line and then goes a little bit different direction, I mean, hitting's hard, so that'll throw them off enough.
So more so to miss barrels more than missing bats, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. So the slider, is it more of a sideways profile or does it have more depth? Talk about that pitch.
I think, I honestly don't know myself because when I look at videos, I'll throw it sometimes at 90. Like in the 2023 season, I threw it at 90 outside. There was a bullet. And then I'll throw one to like my first outing against Modesto last year, I would throw 3 sliders in a row and they were like curveballs. They were dying in the dirt. And I didn't know the difference. And then again, DA helped me. We used a new grip. So now it's more of a bullet slider.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a really good bridge between, especially if you can get your big curveball going.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's really nice. Very, very exciting. So do you have any goals for your velo going into next season, or is it just, hey, let's worry about the throw and the velo will take care of itself?
I think the velo would take care of itself this year. I've gotten a lot stronger, and I think I was too fed up with velo last year because I wasn't where I wanted to be, and I wasn't actually physically capable of doing that just because of how the season started. And so, yeah, this year I'm just going to worry about the pitching aspect, and then the velo will come later on.
So you're so competitive that you always want the results, like all competitive people do. But you're learning that a lot of baseball is about having the right process, right?
Yeah.
So how hard has that been to make your competitive brain have to realize, hey, I've got to get my process right to get the results I want? Has that been hard for you?
Not really. I mean, Donnie Alexander, the main guy, he came and talked to me, and he basically told me I need to get my stuff together. I need to get a process going because last year at Rancho, or 2 years ago at Rancho, I wasn't too I didn't have my own routine. I wasn't professional yet, I'd say, because I was just
18 and a half years old.
Yeah. I was just out there throwing the baseball, I felt like. And, he really did help me get a set routine and taught me how to be a professional. So I think that carrying on to this season is going to be even better.
Isn't that amazing when you have people that do that for you, how much you end up respecting them and how much that mentorship, when you look back on it, you're like, damn, that's awesome, right?
Oh, yeah. The Dodgers are amazing. They're like family to me.
Yeah. No doubt about it. So, okay, what things do you think you're doing right now? Last couple of questions here on the business side. We'll have some fun here in a minute with some fun questions. But what thing would you say right now? The Dodgers call and they say, "Hey, Payton Martin, you're going to start for the big league club tomorrow." What things do you think you're doing the best to be a consistent major leaguer right now?
I say being consistent. Again, with the walks or whatever, I want to cut down as many walks as I can this year. I'd say carry good outings onto another good outing. Like, don't slip up, give up a run here, run there. Let's try to carry on a shutout outing to another shutout, and keep that same mindset. Don't like fall off from it. Be like, oh, I can't give up a run here, or I can't give up a run there. Like just foot to the gas pedal and keep it going.
All right, man. Hey, that's all the business questions I got for you. Let's have some fun with some fun questions. You ready?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, you're from Clemens, North Carolina, which is quite a bit further south than Middle Michigan, right? And so, hey, 10 hours away, that's drivable if you want to do it over maybe a long weekend, right? But having said that, quite a bit colder in Middle of Michigan. What is the coldest moment that you can remember spending in a Great Lakes uniform?
Towards the end of the season, it got a little chilly, but I'd say one of the coldest, I don't know if it was cold. I'm remembering it cold, but I was with Chris Archer and a couple of the guys in the dugout at Lake County, and it was pouring raining. And I remember getting back into the clubhouse, and I was shivering. So I'd say that was probably my coldest.
All right. So you're one, let's go back to the confidence part of it. You're one that has a tremendous amount of confidence. So what part of being a professional baseball player would you say to this point has challenged that confidence the most?
It's a tough question, honestly, because there's a lot of things that go into it. Because minor leagues, it's tough. It's a tough lifestyle.
It is.
I say umpires right now. Go the safe route and say the umpires.
Umpire, that is such a Payton Martin answer. That is 1,000%. You had like 700 different answers, and you go, I'm going with umpires.
Yeah. The coaches are going to see this, and maybe they'll think good of me right here. So.
There you go.
You saw where I got ejected that one game against the Lugnuts. I did. Right? Unreal.
It was like the first inning, too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I think I shot you a message, too, and congratulated you. You got your money's worth, didn't you?
Sorta, I guess. I didn't really know why I got ejected. Nobody did until like 20 minutes after, and she came out and said what happened, but it's unfortunate.
Can you tell us what happened, or do we need to move on?
Yeah, so first play of the game, ground ball to JT, Jordan Thompson, stud, fields a ground ball, smooth as ever, throws it to first base, and calls him safe. And he was out. And I'm talking to JT. JT wouldn't lie to me. He's like, oh, he was definitely out,
Yeah.
So that happened. And then a blooper up the middle. And then runner on third. And, you have to tell them when you're going from the windup when there's a runner on third.
You got to declare, yes.
So I was walking back to the mound, and I didn't look at her when I said it, but I said I was going from the windup. So I started, and she said I didn't make eye contact with her. So then, I was yapping here and there. I can yap a lot. So I just kept talking. She said, not another thing. I said, okay. So there's another runner on third base. So I get on the mound and I turn around and tell her I'm going from the windup, and she throws me out. So.
Were you sarcastic?
No, never.
All right, man. Hey, what is the thing that you are the most excited about in terms of your future as a professional baseball player?
I'd say the relationships with all the players. I'm not gonna. I could say many things about myself, I'm getting better, knowing more things, but there's nothing better than meeting all the guys in the clubhouse and all the coaches I've been able to interact with and all the new people. Recently, I've met Chris Archer. He's the man, he's in my ear there talking to me here and there, and he's just a good guy to talk to. Same with DA, Coin, anybody I talk to back at the complex, Menta, Walsh, even Donnie, he's the man. They're all just they've all turned into brothers almost. I don't want to say that, but just big mentors and people I can look up to.
Payton, I got to say, man, you're growing up right in front of our eyes, man. I cannot tell you how impressed.
Yeah, dude, I'm balding too, man. I'm balding. It's getting bad. That's why I got a hat on today. I didn't want to show everybody my hairline. So,
you still cook a mean steak?
Oh, dude, no, that fell off. I tried in Arizona last year, and no, at Walsh actually. Walsh and Minta, Brent Minta, and Ian Walsh told me how to do it. Walked me through it. Said send a picture. I sent a picture, and then I said, "Oh, it's going to be good." I ate it, and it was terrible. So, yeah.
How about Mom's Barbecue? Is that still mean?
Yeah, they got the #1 barbecue. They got that certificate this year in North Carolina.
You mentioned your girlfriend getting to come and watch it. Your mom getting to come and watch you?
Yeah, she came to the game. I got thrown out in.
So did you sit with her the rest of the game, or were you in the clubhouse?
No, I was pouting in the clubhouse. You know, I had a towel, throwing a ping pong ball against the wall, trying to keep myself company because I didn't know what to do. You know, it's my first time getting thrown out, and I'm still what was I 20 at the time? I might have been 20 at that time.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, I thought I did something wrong. It's like going to the principal's office.
Yeah, right. So tell us what it was like watching the World Series for you, watching the Dodgers win the World Series, and you thinking, dude, that's going to be me someday. Tell us what that was like for you.
I went to the Game 5 in New York because it's a closer drive than all the way to L.A., so it was cheaper, so I went there. And
did they give you tickets? Did you have free tickets and all that?
No, I had to get my own tickets, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. I went there with my girlfriend and my family, and we got to see the Dodgers win, so that was nice.
You got to see Game 5?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was the final game, right? Was it Game 5?
Yeah. Wow, very cool. That's awesome. So was it like running through your mind like, wow, that's going to be me someday, or were you able just to be a fan and enjoy the moment?
A little bit of both. I mean, I tried to be like a fan that day.
Yes.
Because I know in the back of my mind, I always have that mentality of I'm going to be a MLB baseball player one day, you know?
Of course.
But it was nice. It was fun to see all that from the stands.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Payton Martin, that's all I've got for you today. It's always such a joy. I just enjoy look forward to talking to you each and every year. So thank you so much for joining. You got any final thoughts here about the off season or about next year, about anything you want to say here?
You know, I just want to thank everybody and big prayers up to Jonah. You know, I love Jonah.
No
Hope he's okay.
The scout that found you, yes.
Yeah.
He's sick.
He's like
right
my big brother. You know, hope he's okay and praying for him always.
Yeah, when he gets better, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go bring him a big old Sonic drink, right? From the Sonic that you guys talked at 4.5 hours at, right?
Yep.
All right, man. Payton Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.